in terms of the per agreement. If they lose, if they go out and fix the TV, they will lose $34, right? That's what the average cost to repair, right? So looking at this thing here, you look at this thing and you probably say, wait a minute, Mr. Tran, they don't give us the probability. But they really did give you the probability, right? What is the probability of me go outside and do my service here, which is, everybody see that this is what you have to do is the company have to pay $34, and the probability of for every 5 customer out of 100, which is 5 out of 100, which is 0.05, the probability of you losing $34 is 0.05, right? And again, this is what they tell you is this is the only probability we have that relate to the item, which is we take the amount and multiply to the probability and then just add or subtract whatever we have left, which is, again, we have here, which is 17 divided by 170 divided by 100 to give you 1.7, and 1.7 plus 10, everybody see that, again, there are a $8.30 gain. Right? So if you don't like to create your chart, this is one way to do it, which is just a straightforward, whatever value they give us, we just use. It's just, you don't have to multiply the probability to every single one. You don't have to find the probability of the other type. Okay, so there are, if you want to attack this way, there are one number that does not have a probability, and that number is the one that you either add if it's profit or subtract if it's a loss. Okay? So again, hopefully I did not confuse you guys with this method. If I confuse you guys this method and you learn my chart method, just use the chart method. It's the same. It's the same concept. It's the same. It's just 2 different methods, but you find the same thing. Okay. So question here. Question with this item here. This is the last item we have in chapter 10. There's no other item that on that slide. And like I mentioned earlier, beginning of the meeting, try to do that on Alex. On Alex, there is another review for your final exam. Under the homework, they call course review. You can practice that. I think it's like 48 questions on there. You can do that. If you do this my way, give me 1 second here. So if you give me, I have to get out. So if you do this my way, this problem here, let me insert. So if 2, 3. So if you do this way, let's say this is the amount. This is the probability. And this is multiply. Right? So the amount that we have, because we are looking for the service, right? Because we're looking for the service expected gain or expected loss. You see that the service provider, if there's nothing going on, he will gain $10 per agreement. If he lose, but does he really lose $34? Right? You look at this thing here, you say, well, if he lose $34, but you not really lose $34 here. Why we not losing $34? Because looking at this thing here, he take your $10 in the beginning, right? And because he took your $10 in the beginning, when he pay out, he only lose $24, not just the $10, right? So that's what we have here, which is the number. The different number here is right here. They're using the 34 as the number, but for me, because of this thing here, we have to know the gain and the loss. But in this case, the net loss, right? The net loss is only $24, not the 34, right? The probability is the same, right? The probability here is for him, well, not there. The probability here, when he lost, he will lose this much, right? the probability of he losing is 5. For every 100 customer, he will lose to 5 of them. And if that is the probability of lose, which is what is the probability of gain, which is the probability of gain is, do you agree that he will gain 95 out of 100? Right? This is the probability of 5. For every 5 out of 100, we have 5 over 100. And again, if there are 5 that we pay out, there will be, again, 100 total, then 95 left, right? Which is, if you multiply this thing out, which is 100 times 95, 95 divided by 100 is just 0.95, right? Let me skip one step right here, which is, if you multiply this thing out, you have, again, 9.5, right? 10 times 0.95 will give you 9.5. And on the bottom here, you have negative 24, right? Negative 24 times 5 over 100, which is, again, negative 24 times 5, 0, k over 2. This thing will give you this thing will give you negative 5 times, that will give you 0, k over 2, 120 divided by 100, right? Which give you, this thing will give us negative 1.2, right? So again, this is what we have, which is, again, negative 1.2, which is, again, to finish this thing up, to find the expected value, we have a 9.5 minus the 1.2, which give us same number, right? So again, that's the same number we have here, which is the 9.5 minus the 1.2 will give you the 8.3, right? So again, my way is you have to deduct here. And because you deduct it here, you have to multiply each of the probability. The Alex way, let me move this thing out. The Alex way is basically they just go straight forward, whatever number they have, and they multiply to the corresponding probability without like this item, because I don't have the probability here, I don't have to multiply the probability. I just multiply with the straight number. Hopefully, I do this my method a lot, so that's why I try to find a way to explain this method and why it works, and I cannot find a perfect way to explain it. So I really don't know the right word to explain this method. I just know it's work. I know when I learned there's 2 methods, and I learned this method at most, so I stick with this method, and I'm like, okay, I can explain this method. But this method, I learned it, but I don't know how to explain it to my students, so I kind of just brush it off, So, but again, either method that you feel fit, you can use it. I don't know which one is better, but and again, hopefully I don't confuse you guys with this different method. Question here. Question with this method or any method. All right. If you don't have question, this is the end of chapter 10 review, guys. Like I say, on Monday, well, today is Monday. You have 1 week left to do all your material. So again, by next Monday, midnight, well, 11, I want to say 11. I don't want to say midnight. I think 11 on next Monday, all of the material is due, okay? So again, try to pace yourself, try to do it. And like I say, tonight or